Today we are going to study functions in Matlab. Now the syntax for functions in Matlab is that we use the keyword function starting with uh, lowercase f, and then if we have more than one output arguments, they are separated by commas and put in square brackets, as you can see. But if we have a single output, we can simply write that name. No square brackets are needed, simply write that name, write that name of that output argument. And then we have the equal sign, then followed by the function name, and then followed by the input arguments in these brackets, which are also separated by comma. So this is a general syntax of a function in MATLAB. Now it's important that while naming functions in MATLAB, we don't use built-in function names like sine, cosine, plot, square root, exponential, etc. What's the use of functions? Functions helps us in breaking down large complex code into simpler and more manageable pieces. Fine. The second advantage is that we can reuse the code more often. We can reuse the code whenever we want. So by simply calling that function. So the second advantage is reusability, and the third and final advantage is that it makes the code easy to comprehend because the code is divided into simpler and smaller pieces. So let us start today's topic of functions. So first I will give it a function, a keyword function. As you can see that this keyword has turned blue, which means that this is a keyword. Then I will give it output argument. For single output argument I can simply name for single output argument I can simply name that output argument like this. Fine. Then we have the equal sign. Now I have function name. For example, I want to multiply two uh, two scalars, so I will simply write multiply, which is my function name, and then I will have to give it an input arguments. Let's say I name the input arguments as a and b. Now after defining this function, this will now be the body of the function, which I will define it as x is equal to a multiply b. Fine. And then I will end the function using the keyword end, which will also turn blue. So here I will save this. So now it's saved. When it's saved, I will go to the command window. I will simply type multiply and give it two numbers, 5 comma 6. So the answer is 30. This has multiplied two numbers which were 5 and 6. We have called the function multiply here, and we have sent two input arguments which was 5 and 6, and they have been multiplied. We can give this we can assign the output of the function to some variable also. For example, I assign the output of this function multiply to some variable which is for example xx. Fine. So now we will have xx, which will be the multiplication of these variables, of these two input arguments, which is 5 and 6. Here we go. Thank you.